Dan Illman, Mike Beer, race number 9 at Churchill Downs on Stephen Foster. Saturday is the Grade 3 Regret for 3-year-old fillies going 9 furlongs on the turf. It's win and you're in season. It's never too early to stock up on your Breeders' Cup merchandise, and DRF has a deal for you. When you head on over to breederscupshop.com and enter the code DRF2PACK with any purchase of $30 or more, you get 2 free Breeders' Cup Santa Anita glasses. Let's meet the field for the Grade 3 Regret. Again, 3-year-old fillies going 9 furlongs on the Churchill Downs turf course. I want to begin with the number 1, Winter Sunset. This is just a beautifully bred daughter of Tappet. Her Damn Winter Memories was really a top racehorse, and she comes out of the Edgewood, a race on Derby weekend that's already produced 3 next out winners, and one of them was expected to be a next out winner. It was not. Newspaper of Record.
Yeah, that didn't happen. Newspaper of Record didn't make it 4. I guess, listen, I think she's pretty good. I liked her first 2 races, and it's not like she's done anything wrong in the 2 Grade 3s since then. I guess she's morning line favorite because she's Grade 3 placed a couple of times. I don't know. This horse is fine. I don't think I'd be betting her as the favorite in this race.
She draws a great inside post position. If she breaks, she didn't really break in the Edgewood last time out. She's probably going to get a nice trip under Channing Hill. And also that turf course seemed kind of wet. You can give her an excuse for that race. But I think we look at the Florida Oaks the same way. While we're big fans of Concrete Rose and think that she's a really nice horse, that was just kind of a race where you threw a blanket over 7 of them. And those races, they always kind of leave me with a bad taste.
Yeah, that race just really didn't do anything for me. This horse ran fine in there. I thought she got a really good trip in that race. I thought she did her best and was only 3rd best at the end of the day. You're right about the Edgewood last time. She doesn't have to love giving the ground, and there was certainly giving the ground that day. She could do better in this race. The post is fine for her. I don't think a 1 1/8 is going to be any problem for her. She's not the kind of horse I want to bet as the favorite.
I don't think she'll be the favorite, though. I believe that the number 4, Varenka, will be the favorite come post time because this filly's just has to have a tremendous amount of buzz about her. She was a good 2-year-old. Graham Motion tested her as a maiden in 3 stakes races, and she was second to Newspaper of Record when Newspaper of Record was Newspaper of Record in the Miss Griot. Her first start this year was at Belmont last month. She just blew by that field under nothing more than a hand ride. I know the Fig only came back in 81. I think there's lots more to come if you give her a trip.
I agree with all that stuff. I mean, she aired on that field. You know, the pace was slow in front of her, but you could tell that Castellano was loaded all the way around the track.
Loaded with extreme confidence.
And she just blew that field to win. That was a very visually impressive win. You can tell that she's been cut out to be a nice horse right from the start. I think she'll be favored in here, and to me, she's a horse that you have to use.
Let's throw up the Timeform US Pace Projector because the number 9, Fortunate Girl for the Red Hot Cassie Barn is expected to make the lead, and she might have been just one of those fillies in the Edgewood, just didn't like the cut in the ground. You see her 2 races on non-firm turf. They're not very good. Her race at Keeneland 2 starts back I thought was a useful performance. My one issue is a useful performance is not going to win this race. She's going to have to run her best, and after 10 lifetime starts, I'm beginning to wonder how much more improvement is left in the tank. You know, this is a good trip.
I feel the same way about her. That is a good trip, but you know what? She gets good trips in all of her races. She's that kind of a horse. I do wonder if there will be another forward move in her because so far, and listen, she's run okay in a couple of stakes races, but stakes races that she's come out on the bottom end without any real excuse. So to me, she has to improve. But listen, good trips can go a long way in races like this, and maybe she'll get another one.
There's something here, I think, with the number 5, Hard Legacy, who's expected to be sitting second on the Timeform US Pace Projector in the Appalachian last time out. It was over soft turf. I don't think she minded the soft turf that much. It was a good field. The 2nd and 3rd place finishers both came back to win. I don't think it helped that Julian had this horse 5 wide on the backstretch and all the way through the turn. She was very, very late to change leads, but all in all, I thought she stayed on, and this just is a stamina pedigree on the bottom. I think she'll run okay.
I do too. She's the kind of horse who I want to be using. I think she might even drift off that morning line too. I'm definitely using this horse. I don't know what the plan was last time in the Appalachian, but you can't ride fillies like that and expect them to win the race. I mean, he had her a good 4 or 5 wide all the way around the track in there. And as you say, it's not like she threw in the towel in the stretch. She kept trying all the way to the wire. She actually ran a very underrated race last time, and she was pretty impressive winning her first 2.
Sitting third on our pace projector is the 3 Crafty's Dream turf debut for a filly that just won at Presque Isle Downs over a synthetic surface. She does seem to like the synthetic, but after 17 starts in a career best of 67, she is a deserving 50-1 outsider.
Yeah, good luck to her in this race.
Let's take a look at the 11, Princessa Carolina. And you and I are both big fans of her. She's multiple graded stakes placed in her career, and last time out, Kenny McPeak gave her a drop in class that she probably needed. He found a 5-horse field. She was 2-5. She controlled the pace, but I liked the way she kicked on home. I think that third-place finisher came back to run second in the Penn Oaks behind an impressive Chad Brown train runner. Now, here's the formulator fact that's going to make you nervous at a short price, coupled with this outside post position. Past 5 years with 3-year-olds only on the turf as last out maiden winners, 0 for 24. This filly can win on the lead. She's not getting the lead in here. I think she can get a forward position without losing too much ground. It's a situation where I trust Brian Hernandez. I think this filly's a little underrated.
Yeah, I like her. I basically like all of her turf races. Obviously, yeah, the win last time, that was just a race that,
it's a workout.
Yeah, she wasn't going to lose to that field, but it showed that she can get a distance of ground, which you always expected she could. She's bred to go long. I thought she ran well in the Appalachian. You know, a little bit of trouble in that race early, just caught some traffic. Overall, the trip worked out for her. I thought she did well to finish third in there, and I really liked her race in the Here Comes the Bride, too. This filly's pretty good.
The 10 is Gamblin' Train, very consistent for trainer Buff Bradley. I mean, it just seems like this filly's always around at the wire. She got up last time out in a non-winners of 1 other than at Churchill going a mile and a 16th. I'm not sure about this extra distance.
I'm not either.
Coupled with the leap in company.
I'm not sure about any of that stuff either, but she is a filly who I think it's worth pointing out that she keeps landing in races that don't set up particularly well for closers, and she makes up ground every time, and this race could set up a lot better for her.
Delta's Kingdom's another one that could get a nice pace setup for Bill Mott. Very lightly raced filly, beaten by Gamblin' Train last time out. She's now run a 74 buyer 3 times in a row, and all 3 starts as a 3-year-old. I think she can improve.
I think she can too. I like that she's drawn inside in this race too. I think she could get a good trip in this race. I mean, listen, she will have to improve because this is a good field, but I think she might have it in her too.
You and I've always liked Choate Bridge, and it was nice to see her get off the duck last time out, winning her maiden in her 4th lifetime start, and perhaps most importantly, her first start at the mile and an 1/8. I think she's been crying out for this distance all along for Brendan Walsh, who does seem to do well with these kind of horses stepping up off maiden wins.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to back, where she just, for whatever reason, didn't fire at all, but other than that, she's actually run pretty well in all of her races. Her first 2 career starts are both better than they look, I think. She won at the mile and an 1/8 last time. She won relatively, it's only a neck, but she was never losing that race. She did get a perfect trip that day, though. It's one of those races where the pace was pretty strong in front of her, and then they didn't come home, necessarily that fast, but she really ran well last time.
Belle Laura has been handled very nicely by Norm Cassie. Couple of graded stakes placings. Last time out in the Sanibel Island, just didn't fire for one reason or another. The runner-up's a nice horse. Came back to run third, then won the Honey Rider Stakes down at Gulfstream with an 83. My one issue is her first start off the layoff in the Here Comes the Bride, it looked like she had everything her own way, and Princessa Carolina was still better than her on the day.
Yeah, that's the thing I didn't like about her either. It's the best race she's ever run on figures, but she was absolutely loose on a rated pace in there, and she still couldn't hold on at the end.
Fun race. Let's take a look at our top selections for the Grade 3 Regret Stakes. Last time out, Mike, you like the number 6 Hungry Kitten. She scored first-time blinkers for the great Shug McGahee. Of course she scored. I needed Silver Kitten that day for a score of my own. Hungry Kitten is going to get tested for the first time, but I like the horse, that Gold Standard that she beat. I also obviously like Silver Kitten. Gold Standard came back to win it off the turf race, maiden with an 82 buyer. She was 5-1 last time. She's 12-1 on the line. I think you'd take 7.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to get 12. I think she should take some money in here. We'll see what kind of price she is. She's just one of those fillies who obviously has the big pedigree and the big connections. And, it's one of those things where you go back and watch her debut and you can tell that this horse can run. She just didn't have any idea what she was doing, but she was really running at the end of that race. It felt to me like the Keeneland race off the layoff, where she didn't really show up. Maybe Shug was giving her a race, but then he put the blinkers on last time. And, listen, she was much more in the bridle with the blinkers on, which was a good sign for her, but she still had an awful lot of ground to cover when they came to the top of the stretch. And she kicked in like a horse who can really run. If she puts in a run like that in this race, she's going to be a handful in here.
I'll know all I need to know after the first quarter mile, I think, with Princessa Carolina. If I'm 7 wide going into the first turn, I cannot win.
Get a
It
position.
is up to Hernandez to get position, as Mike mentioned. I think if she does, she is good enough to win against this bunch, and she's already won at a mile and 3/16, so I'm not worried about the
that's
mile
good
and
too.
an eighth. And I think this outside post is going to scare some people off as well as that formulator fact. Maybe I get 5-1 on Princessa Carolina.
This is kind of a wide open race. There's a
It's
lot
a
of different
very
ways
wide
to go.
open race. It's a race with fillies with tremendous potential and tremendous pedigrees. Just think, we've got dams like Winter Memories, we've got dams like Hungry Island, and we've got dams like Pure Clan in this race. And those 3 horses thus far have run very well according to their pedigrees. It's the Grade 3 Regret Stakes. Mike's going 6-4, 11-5. I'm going 11-1, 4-5. It is race number 9 at Churchill Downs. Remember the offer for BreedersCupShop.com. Purchase $30 or more, and you get 2 free Breeders' Cup Santa Anita glasses. It's very easy when you enter the code DRF. 2-pack. An approximate post time for the Regret, 10:19 Eastern. Good luck.